All right, we are live. Yeah, I believe we're live. Absolutely. So here we are. Welcome, everybody. This is Gabriel with Stress Relief for Teachers. And I'm coming live to you right now because there's always a lot of questions that are being asked, and that can cause a lot of confusion for people, right? So one of the questions that I want to do is actually 9 questions. I want to address those for you today with EFT tapping FAQs. Okay, there's about 9 questions that I'm going to cover, and I'd like to address them for you today and get some clarity. So EFT, or Emotional Freedom Techniques, is an energy psychology technique based on the principles of Chinese acupuncture, where you tap on your energy points in the body, you know, to release all those energy blockages that we have, you know, and help you flow a little bit better, help you eliminate, relax, de-stress completely. And in a lot of cases, you actually eliminate a lot of those emotional, you know, disturbances that we just keep inside our bodies. And it was founded by Dr. Gary Craig, an engineer and a performance coach back in the 80s, I believe it was. So EFT helps to clear the emotional blocks and to heal from painful experiences, stress, physical pain, etc. And usually with remarkable speed and long-lasting effects. It's kind of like an emotional version of acupuncture without the needles. So let's eliminate your emotional blocks and get you feeling awesome. So let's start with question number 1. Question number 1, the intensity is not going down as I tap on an emotion. Does this mean that EFT is not working? That's a very good question. It's a valid question. So I want to address it this way. Okay, in most cases, EFT truly does work. The most common reasons why you're not seeing results are because you may not be being specific as you can about the emotion that you're trying to alleviate or resolve. And this is where working with an experienced EFT practitioner like myself pays dividends. So you must be specific as you can. You know, generalizing a tapping session, okay, as if it were just a broad statement, will provide minimal results. You will get some results. One of the most common issues is stress. Stress is layered, okay, due to many specific events. So if you need to break down the word stress, the way you feel, okay, that issue, you got to break it down into bite-sized specific parts or events. And then you will see the results much more rapidly. For example, if you tap on the setup statement with, even though I have stress, I deeply and completely accept myself, you will continue to stress about feeling stressed. Be honest with yourself, or be honest with your EFT practitioner, to bring out the associated specifics that cause you stress. So here's a better example. Even though I feel stressed about the excess classes and lesson plans I have to do daily, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now you're associated with a real event causing you stress. And this would be more specific in your setup statement. Question number 2. Many times, as I'm tapping, something new pops up in my mind. As usually can happen, and it probably will happen. I end up stating the new thing without realizing it. Why? Well, the answer for that is because that is called an aspect. That new thought, that new thing that crossed your mind is an aspect of that particular stress. So progress will stop if you switch aspects. Your brain wants to be clear and to stay on target. So aspects are another stress-related problem presenting itself. And that's a good thing. Sometimes we just forget what the root problem or what is underneath the first layer of stress that we're trying to resolve. And then we all of a sudden we are, you know, surprised by like, oh my God, I remember that. And that's a new aspect. That's the next round. That's the next thing that you want to tap and eliminate. For example, if you're tapping on stress about excess classes and lesson plans, ask yourself, am I still stressed out about the excess classes and the lesson plans, or is there something else going on with how I feel about this? Chances are there's something else going on. Let's say you were to respond with, I just never feel respected or valued for my work as a teacher. Well, that response is a new aspect of the problem, which is what you want to tap on next. You want to tap on feeling respected, feeling valued as a teacher. Or your aspect may be a sensation in your body. You know, a lot of our emotional disturbances become a physical sensation in our bodies. You know, for example, I just feel pressure on my shoulder. Well, then you would go ahead and tap on the pressure that you feel. You know, tapping on aspects is crucial to achieving emotional freedom and the relief that you seek with the tapping sessions. The third question is, a beliefs issue is interfering, okay? You know, it doesn't matter whether you believe EFT tapping works or you don't believe it, okay? The fact of the matter is that it does work because you're working with the energy system, you know, your meridian points in your body, and that just flows regardless. That's just gonna happen as you are tapping. So a deeper issue is probably underneath the problem which you haven't addressed. You know, and it's usually clouded by a belief issue. So to find out if that is a problem, ask yourself two questions. When I have felt this way early on in my life, did I also feel inadequate? Or you can ask yourself this question. Is there a sizable emotional issue here? Sizable, you know? And you get to figure out, you know, what can it be? Where is it located? Speculate if you don't want to know, okay, or narrow it down, okay? But your response is the next issue that you want to tap on. You know, a lot of our emotional disturbances create knots in our bellies, or they create tightness in the chest. You know, like I said, they create a pain in the back of your head, like a big, huge hammer hitting. Maybe it's a frontal, you know, between the eyebrow headache, and we're not sure why. Well, this is what you're going to want to tap on after. And you want to speculate on those things. So, for example, if you responded, I remember feeling this way when my principal or a teaching staff or a school secretary disapproved of me during a teacher's meeting. Whoa. Well, that's enough for you to want to like really get disturbed, you know. But why do you want to keep that inside? And this is the reason why you will probably feel some kind of physical, you know, symptom to this emotional disturbance. You now tap on this memory and all the feelings you felt, okay, you know, with that particular incident. And what happens is, this is one of your issues that is feeding into your feelings of inadequacy. So you want to be able to tap on that. And I provide you with that tapping, you know, algorithm or the basic recipe, which will really get you going. One of the most popular questions here, this is the fourth question, is how long must I tap for? You only need to tap for a few minutes, okay, with any emotional issue to reduce the intensity. So don't go thinking that this is going to go on for days or months or years. You tap for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. If you go 3 rounds, you know, you'll probably be tapping for about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's okay. Question number 5 would be, can I tap on more than one issue? Yes, you can. You know, however, you want to tap on one issue until you get significant relief, okay? Without saying anything, you know? Again, aspects do occur, they do arise. We start to think about something else that might have triggered the issue that we're tapping on, you know? But you want to tap on one issue at a time, resolve that before you move forward. Question number 6 is, when I'm stressed or upset, can I just tap on the points without saying anything? Yes, you can. You know, with EFT, you want to tune into the problem, okay, that's causing you this duress. And it is important to say the words with the tapping, even though I feel I completely and deeply accept and love myself. With TFT, thought field therapy, you can internalize your words and tap in silence as you speak the words to yourself. You don't have to be heard if you don't want to. It's a little bit different with TFT, but it is the same principles as far as tappings. For example, if you're in a classroom, you can whisper the words to yourself. With EFT, you're making shifts, okay, with the energy work and with the verbal phrases. So you can silently say it, you can whisper it to yourself. You know, the whole point is that as long as you're saying those words, your brain is picking up on that signal. And that's where both of them, you know, what the phrasing is and the actual tapping, they work together as a powerful tandem. Question number 7. Why am I repeating this stress or other negative emotions in the tapping rounds? Well, it seems like, you know, repeating this stress, okay, would increase my stress. Well, here's the answer to that. Giving a voice to the problem helps you stop resisting it. Honoring your feelings gives you room to get past it. Once you've had a few rounds of moving through and releasing the issue or the feeling that you have, it could be a physical feeling too, then you can add more positive statements. You notice in all the tapping feelings that, you know, there are positive statements in subsequent rounds. So as we decrease some of the negative intensity, you're going to increase your positive affirmations. So adding positives too quickly will not impact or reduce the intensity for you. Your brain will reject this. If you move on too quickly, it will just like, it will resist it, it'll kick it out. Question number 8. Can I tap on other things besides stress? Well, Gary Craig, you know, the founder of EFT, he states, a core belief is the accumulation of the writing on the walls. That's his quote. A pattern or psychological disorder is not specific. It is the tabletop. So when you hear the words always, all, never, recurring, constantly, all the times, that, you know the client is telling you about a tabletop emotional issue, a global issue that is being held in the energy systems by many table legs or specific events, you know, that have happened over time. And this is just, you know, a natural order of our lives, okay? It's not your fault, you're not broken, but we layer all our emotions, you know, like, you know, just layers and layers over time. I mean, in a week's time, we go through like 1,000 emotional disturbances. So imagine over a lifetime, we just stack them up, and they become the legs of your global emotion, or let's call it stress. And then we just say, well, it's stress. Well, we want to know what kind of stress based on those layers. So in order to collapse the tabletop and receive emotional freedom on your issues, we need to collapse the legs that are holding it up. And this is just a very powerful thing to understand, you know, because you can tap on other things besides stress. As a matter of fact, you must be specific so that you can eliminate that very stress, anger, anxiety, you know, fear of snakes, you know, the pain in my knee, you know, and these are all things that go at a deeper level. Question number 9. What do I need to see an EFT professional? Well, if you are tapping on an issue and not getting results, you may have a core issue in the way. A core issue is more complex, okay? It is more deep-rooted problem in your past, such as abuse or abandonment or complex grief. You know, An EFT practitioner or a therapist can give you more support to help release your blocks so that you can heal faster. Now, this is something to always consider simply because, you know, sometimes we just don't want to realize that or face that on our own. So we'll just generalize things, you know, we'll just keep it on the surface. An EFT practitioner is going to help you get past that, but you have to face that, you have to be associated with that intensity as you're tapping so that you can let it melt away. I'm a CTAA accredited EFT certified master practitioner, and I specialize in the areas of anxiety, anger, depression, phobia, physical pain, fear of snakes or spiders or, you know, elephants, low confidence, self-esteem, low self-worth, you know. And on a daily basis, I work with people, okay, on my Facebook community. For the ongoing month of October through the end of the year, I'm providing a 5-day EFT basic recipe workshop for free. And on the third day, I provide you with the EFT basic recipe so that you can start empowering yourself with one of the most powerful tools that you have to eliminate your stresses. And at the completion of the 5 days, you will have practiced several times over the remaining 2 days to be able to attest to its validity, to its power, you know, and to be able to say, you know what, I actually got rid of this stress. I want to be able to eliminate others. So come over to Facebook here, you know, Stress Relief for Teachers. You know, come and find me. Ask me a question, send me a note, a messenger. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. And take advantage of this 5-day EFT basic recipe challenge. It's here for you because I care enough about teachers to want to help you reduce your stress. I reduce my stress. There's no reason why you can't. And not just teachers, just about anybody who's feeling stuck and who knows me. So I help 10 people a month for free. Come and grab your EFT, the basic algorithm, okay, PDF as well. Ask me for that. I will send you that particular PDF, or book a discovery call with me, you know, via Messenger today. And I'll answer all your questions. Let's have a meet and greet. Let's answer your questions, and let's get you feeling awesome. I want to thank you very much for your time. Truly amazing. Once again, thank you, and you guys have a great day. Take care.